All right, GamesRadar.com. This is Takeshi back on the floor. PAX 2012. We are still at the Ubisoft booth. We're now looking at Far Cry 3, and I am here with
Jamie Keane. I'm the lead game designer. Good to be here.
Hi, Jamie. What are we seeing here today?
Today we're showing the open world demo. Basically, this is the kind of the promise of the real life of the world that we have in the game. I think so far we've shown a lot of kind of really directed narrative missions. So this time I think it's really important to show people that the world is really huge, that there's a lot of stuff that you can do in between missions, and basically it's just all about players getting out there and enjoying the world and finding out what's going on in it. So right now we're watching Thomas play. He's going to take us up to the kind of the first of the large linchpins of the open world. Now he's going to go up and he's going to take down a radio tower. The radio towers kind of open up the map in the world. They're kind of controlled by the pirates, who are the antagonists in the game. You're kind of working with the rebels, with the Rakyat, to kind of take back the island from them. So your first kind of port of call when you're out there is to take out these radio towers. Now they've got kind of like a scrambler placed on the top of the tower, so you need to climb up the tower and get to the top of it, and you're going to be able to de-scramble it. These towers are all going to have their own kind of navigational puzzle challenge to them as well, so each one is going to be different. This one's a really early one in the game, so it's a pretty simple one, but these get pretty complex, and they're pretty hairy as you get up top. You're going to hear all the metal creaking, you're going to sort of like see the kind of like, you have to make a lot of jumps and stuff, kind of balance along beams and that kind of stuff. It gets pretty hairy later on in the game. So as you can see, as we start looking out over the rest of the world, you start to get a good viewpoint from these towers as well. You'll see them kind of dotted around the landscape. And that kind of gives you a bit of an idea of the scale of the game and what we're talking about here. The demo that we're showing today, it's roughly 1/20th of the entire game world. So it's pretty massive out there. All right, so Thomas is just getting up to the top of this. You're going to start seeing the camera swaying and stuff as you get up to the top. We really want to get this feeling of vertigo with these towers. There was also a good viewpoint to kind of check out the rest of the world, have a look around. One of the things that you can see from the top here as well is all these columns of black smoke. Now, these columns are kind of like outposts. The outposts are the kind of the second big linchpin of the game world. Basically, we want the ability for the player to be able to change what's going on with the world, to change the kind of feel of the place, to turn it from this kind of fully hostile place into somewhere that's a bit friendly, a bit less kind of constantly in your face, let you get on and explore more of the world if you want to. All right, so we're showing these points of interest. With each radio tower that you unlock, you're going to get shown a couple of places that you can go to explore. They're going to have things like, collectibles, relics placed at them, that kind of thing, so you can really get in and get into more of the exploration side of the gameplay. All right, so Tom has opened up the map here. As you can see, it's all red. We've got these kind of control zones around the outposts. He's just going to pan back out so we can kind of see the scale of the world. So it's a pretty big place. Now, each of these red flags is one of these outposts I was talking about before. So Thomas is going to go ahead and he's going to get down there and take one of these ones out. When you do take out the outpost, there's a couple of things that you're going to get from it as well. It's going to become a fast travel point for you, so you can kind of always get there really quickly. It's going to enable you to move around the world very quickly if you want to. And then also it's going to allow you to buy stuff from the shop. Every time you unlock a radio tower, it's kind of unlocking weapons, so you're going to get access to new weapons, and then you can buy them at the shops in the world. All right, so Thomas just come across a roadblock. See how he does with it. This is the other thing that's going to happen when you take out an outpost, is that these guys right now, because they're kind of based in that outpost, you're going to run into encounters that they're going to basically try and shoot you in the face a lot. But basically, once you've taken the outpost, the rebels move in, they take it on, and it suddenly becomes friendly. Okay, so he's just hightailing it out there right now.
Slightly reminiscent of the sort of Assassin's Creed towers.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken some cues from some other games with sort of the way that they work and stuff. I mean, I think that we wanted to try and make it our own. Obviously, this idea of the scramblers and the radio towers and that kind of stuff. But it's a really good way of kind of getting you to a point where you've just got a little bit of a hiatus from the world. You've got a good view around. You can kind of check things out. A bit of time to kind of scope out what you want to be doing in the world. All right, so Thomas taking an interesting route down that mountain here. It's important that players kind of are able to do this as well. We want to try and make if you want to drive around, if you want to go and like just kind of head off piste and go and do whatever you want to, that it's there that you can do it. All right, so we're getting pretty close to the outpost now. Okay, he's trying to work out a way that he can get down. All right, he's found a rope bridge across. Let's see where that takes him. Looks like we've got some dogs on the other side here as well. The world's not just going to be populated by like human NPCs. You're also going to have a lot of animal NPCs around as well. So here we got dogs. If you get too close to them, then it's going to go pretty wrong. So as you can see, Thomas is having to now defend himself against these things. Dogs are pretty easy to take down. The thing is you're going to run into a lot of them around in the world. So while they're kind of they're easy to take, easy to kill, it's their numbers that are the problem. As you can see, there was a third one there, and that's kind of run off. It's got afraid as its buddies have been killed. Harsh.
If I remember correctly, you can use them as sort of a weapon, well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw Tomo as well. He's kind of skinned it. That means that later on he'll be able to sort of use that to craft some stuff. If you are using the animals cleverly, though, you can actually get them to kind of do your work for you. We'll probably see in one of the outposts later on, we actually have a lot of outposts that have animals in cages. There's all sorts of nefarious things that the pirates are up to. One of them is kind of like an illegal animal trade. So they've got these animals in cages, outposts and stuff. What that means, though, is that you can kind of shoot the cage and open it up, and the animal's going to go and get involved in the outpost, and it's going to go do a lot of the dirty work for you. The thing is, if you let a bear go, there's a bear around as well, and you need to get into that place too, so it doesn't always necessarily work in your favor. All right, so Tomo's coming up here quickly, pretty sneakily. He's got the bow out here. Now he's just taking out the camera now. Now the camera's a really, really good kind of tactical tool. It means that you can kind of use it, zoom in, tag these guys. It means you can kind of plan your approach a little bit better, kind of work out what they're doing. Once they're tagged, you kind of have their point in a 3D world and then also on the mini-map as well. So you can kind of see what they're doing and see what they're up to, so you can plan your attack a bit better. That detection arrow that you just saw there, if that fills up completely, then they're going to spot you. If they spot you, then they're going to go into combat. The thing with the outpost as well is that there are alarms in every outpost. You can see that kind of klaxon there. So if they detect you, they're going to run to that. They're going to flip that switch. If they flip the switch, they're calling in reinforcements. Things are going to get a lot more messy for you. All right, so Tomas, yeah, he's got to be careful here, because if this guy spots him, it's all going to kick off. All right, so nice stealth kill with the bow there. So that guy might have heard something. Oh, nice shot in the face. It's the great thing about the spread of weapons that we have, that you can really tailor the kind of gameplay that you want to do. So Tomas really approaching this in a kind of stealthy way right now, until he got the Magnum out. But it's really up to you to decide how you want to do it. You can play it stealth, you can play it way more action-oriented. It's really your choice. See if you can keep it running. All right, so that guy spotted him now. So this is the thing. Any other guys that are in this base, one of them's probably going to head for the alarm. I think that's him heading off right now. Someone needs to try and stop that guy from hitting the alarm, because if he does get there, then all hell's going to break loose. Yeah, he's going for it now. Okay, so he didn't quite make it. So that means that now these guys are on their way in, and there's not a lot that Tomo can do to stop it. They're coming in, the alarm's gone off. See what he does with it. Right, so that guy's down. He's got a little bit of time to kind of prepare. You can see all right, so he's got the C4 out. This is probably a good call. This is the thing, if the alarm kind of gets set off, you can kind of prep. You're gonna hear radio calls telling you which direction they're gonna be coming from, so you can roughly prepare which way that they're gonna, which way they're gonna be arriving from. All right, so this is a pretty serious set of reinforcements here. Oh, ooh, nice. Wow. Okay, so this is the thing, taking a wee bit of time just to prep, it really pays off. All right, so Tomo needs to kill these guys off. And then if he manages that, then he's going to take the outpost over, and it's going to become kind of his castle, his territory. Okay, he's gone for the shotgun now. There's no point in trying to be stealthy about this. He just needs to go really all guns blazing on them. It's just one more guy to kill, and then I think he's going to take the outpost over. What's going to happen after he's taken the outpost is you're going to get the Rakyat coming in to kind of take the place over. Also, taking radio towers and outposts, it unlocks new elements of gameplay. So the world's going to become a lot less hostile to you, but you're going to get a lot of side quests and things like that to get involved in. So I think Tomo's going to go over and he's going to take one of these side quests here. So here we go, there's the Rakyat, they've come in. So they're going to hold on to this place and defend it now. Okay, so he's actually heading into the outpost now. You can see here, this is kind of one of the mobile gun shops. You can get access to new weapons, get access to new gear. You can upgrade your weapons, give them extra ammo, give them sights, silencers. Again, it's really about choice. Choice is super important for us in the game. It's all about making sure that, that you can choose what you want to do. You can choose how you approach situations, and that's going to range from everything from whether you kind of engage more in the narrative structure or whether you just do what Tomo's doing now, which is just getting off out into the open world. All right, so we've got a wanted dead mission here. Now these basically are kind of like little mini stealth assassination missions. Tomo needs to go and find these guys, track them down. They're kind of like a last knot of pirate commanders that are left on the island. So you can check it out on the map. He needs to head up there. The thing is that as you're trying to follow the path of the warrior, which is kind of becoming a Rakat warrior yourself, it's important that you're kind of learning their traditions and stuff. So the idea here is you're kind of going to exact a kind of traditional revenge by using a knife to kill these guys, which is kind of the old, ancient, hand-to-hand, honorable way of doing things. What that actually is going to mean in terms of gameplay is it's way more stealth-heavy. So again, things like the camera are going to come into play. Toma can barrel up the road here in the Jeep. When he starts getting close, though, he's going to have to be a little bit careful about just getting straight into the middle of it. Driving is obviously a very, very important part of the game. You know, it's a big part of Far Cry 2. We really wanted to concentrate on improving the driving experience, adding more modes of transport, making sure that players can choose, you know, air, sea, land, it's up to them. All right, so yeah, he's kind of had to peel off to one side there. We've got a guy that's kind of spotting him.
What other vehicles will they be available for people to play?
Well, okay, so far you can see we've got the 4x4 in there. There's also like a technical truck, which is kind of a slightly more battered old truck. We've got quads, we've got jet skis and boats in there as well. We've got the hang glider. There's a whole range of different transports. Some of them are going to have turrets on them, some of them aren't. We've got like 50 cal turrets. We've got like little kind of M249 turrets as well. So if you find one of those, it's that kind of similar gameplay that you had for Far Cry 2, where you kind of want to husband it and hang on to it for as long as you can. Okay, so Tom has used the camera here to spot these guys. And as you can see, we've got the special guy there in the middle. You can tell that because of the kind of the yellow thing on top of his head. These guys are going to be a lot tougher than your normal characters, so you need to be really careful around them. They're a lot more aggressive, they can do a lot more damage, and they can take a lot more damage as well. So Toma's going to have to be a bit careful about how he approaches it. All right, so he's charging in, and there we go, he's done the takedown. Now, takedowns are also a really important part of the game, and again, it's this idea of, you know, following the path of the warrior. Right now, we've kind of artificially turned on a few of the skills, but as you play through the game normally, you start off and you don't really have that much of an idea about what you're doing. I mean, literally, the idea is you're really a fish out of water. Then, as you kind of progress through the narrative and as you progress through the skill tree itself, you gradually become more and more adept at the things that you're doing in the game world. So right now we've basically got one sort of takedown turned on. Later on you're going to be able to do things like, you know, throw a knife, steal one of the guy's knives and take those guys down, or, you know, steal their sidearm and start shooting at them. There's another one which is my particular favorite as well, where you can kind of like pull the pin on one of their grenades and you just give them a healthy boot in the ass, and then that just kind of propels them into their friends. It's really fun when you pull it off. But those are some of the way more advanced takedowns that we've got. All right, so I think Toma's going to now do a bit of fast travel. Fast travel is a very important part of the game world as well. I mean, obviously there's this huge game world, and moving around it quickly, not being frustrated by the travel times, is a very important part of what we wanted to do for the game. So with the outposts, when you're taking those down, you get new fast travel points. He's come back down to Amanaki. We're going to have to sprinkle around these kind of slightly more friendly areas. This is Amanaki town. This is kind of like a totally safe zone, so, you know, there's no weapons in this area. It's very friendly. The people around here are kind of like a lot, you know, there's nobody here that's going to hurt you. Just gives you a bit of time to kind of rest and recuperate, get yourself kind of sorted out. Okay, so he's gone to the shop now, and he's going to kind of upgrade one of his weapons to make sure that it's kind of a little bit more stealth friendly. He's just bought a suppressor for it, so now it's a really, you know, a very, very serious stealth weapon, in fact. He's also got a paint job on there. That's something that we want to make sure as well, that players can customize their stuff, really play it the way that they want to be playing it, find the weapon that they really feel like is their weapon, and really own it. All right, so see where Toma's heading off to next. We've just got on the edge of the mini-map, you can see we've got a kind of a deer head icon. That's going to be a hunting quest. I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not, but when you, again, this is something that got unlocked by the outpost. You know, these are kind of like little side missions that you can go off and do, little side quests. They're just little vignettes of gameplay. We'll sometimes ask you to do a specific type of gameplay. Yeah, he's going to go for this one. So with this one, it's part of the hunter quest. He's going to go and need to shoot a couple of bears that have been tearing up a local family. He's got to find his way there first, though. Okay, you can see the 3D marker there, so he's just got to head off and get down there. Okay, so I think that's about all we got time for here today, but I hope you've enjoyed the demo and stuff. I know the people here on the show floor are absolutely loving it. We're super pleased with the reaction that we've had, and hope you guys are going to be as well. Looking forward to getting this into your hands at December the 4th, coming out on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. I've been Jamie Keane. Thank you very much for watching.
All right, and this is Takeshi from the Ubisoft booth at PAX 2012. For more coverage on Far Cry 3 or PAX, keep it on GamesRadar.com.